Good afternoon. Good to have you in studio.
Good to be here.
All right. So just go ahead and tell us about the resolutions that Cosatu took.
I think three of the major resolutions coming out of this CEC was, first of all, of course, now we know that Cosatu has said that its affiliates shouldn't discuss the ANC succession debate. Remember that the ANC as well has called on the alliance partners not to do that up until it feels that it's ready to do that. The ANC did indicate that this year's focus, 2016, should be the municipal elections, and only after the municipal elections can they then start the discussion around who should succeed President Jacob Zuma at the 2017 National Congress of the ANC. The other issue coming out of this conference as well is the issue around the Tax Amendment Act. Remember that Cosatu has been against it after it came out last year, after it came out last month, yes, that President Jacob Zuma had signed it into law. They crowd filed, they said they weren't consulted properly, and they say this decision by government to hold back on this implementation indicates that the Federation has been vindicated, that it hadn't been consulted properly. And remember that there was a planned march. It was supposed to have taken place on the 1st of March, coinciding with the implementation of this Amendment Act, and now they're saying that we're not going ahead with that march, so that march will not be taking place. And I think another big one, and this is the third big one, is that Cosatu is now calling on the ANC-led government to somewhat acquire 50% of all mining houses. And this is really huge, considering that the ANC doesn't have a resolution yet on whether it should acquire mines, or around the debate around the nationalization of mines. Yes. The ANC's resolution is that what should happen is that a task team will look into critical minerals that the country have, and only then with the state mining company then intervene in those sectors or where there is critical minerals that has been identified. But we don't know by what percent as yet. But now we have Cosatu saying that the state should intervene in all those mining companies and acquire 50%.
Look, Aldrin, very quickly, because you've wrapped everything up into one sentence now. We know that the taxation laws or amendment has been postponed for the next 2 years. And as you rightly mentioned, their communication was the issue of contention here. Any mention as to how they will move forward in terms of communication now?
Well, at least now we know that after the ANC's NEC met last month as well, they've decided to set up a task team. So that task team would include the minister in the presidency, Jeff Radebe, as well as the social development minister, Batabile Dlamini. I think there's a third minister as well. So that will be the team that we representing government as they start these discussions around social security packages. Because remember, Cosatu's argument has always been that Treasury should not be involved in discussions around what happens with the pension money of people who leave their jobs, or pensioners after they decide to leave their jobs. It should be the Minister of Social Development that gets involved in that. So this time around, I guess when negotiations start at NETLAC, we'll see the Minister of Social Development being part of those discussions, as well as the Minister of Treasury, of course, and he'll be her deputy.
All right. Thank you so much for that update. That is SABC reporter Aldrin Sampear right here in studio with us with an update on Cosatu.